I'm Christine Stavropoulos.
Και εγώ ο Νίκος Σαμίδης. Και αυτό είναι το Greek Podyssey, το podcast της Ομογένειας.
A podcast for Hellenes worldwide, sharing stories, culture, identity, laughs, and a little bit of tsugrisma along the way.
Γιατί μπορεί να φύγαμε από την Ελλάδα, αλλά η Ελλάδα δεν έφυγε ποτέ από μας.
This podcast brought to you by Roasting Warehouse.
From Melbourne
to Brisbane,
and now in Athens,
Roasting Warehouse, shaping the global coffee culture.
dream big.
And life is better with great coffee. Roasting Warehouse.
Welcome to another episode of the Greek Podyssey. Καλώς ήρθατε σε ένα ακόμα επεισόδιο του The Greek Podyssey.
Nice to see you, Nico.
Nice to see you again, Christine, with Christine Stavropoulos and Nikos Samidis.
We're talking about holidays today.
Hold on.
Not any holiday.
Not exactly, not any holiday. We're talking about holidays in Greece.
Before we continue, though, I just want to let everybody know that you can follow our podcast on our YouTube channel, or you can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok.
All the major
We're just everywhere, so you just follow us everywhere.
Just follow us.
We've had some good engagement on some of our shorts that we've shown, and it's wonderful to engage with everybody and listening to the conversations and the interactions. We love it. So just keep the comments coming, keep the recommendations coming, the follows, the likes, the whole bit. We want to reach as many people as possible. We will be looking forward to speaking to people overseas, but today's episode is going to be on holidays in Greece. We also, of course, have Natasha Karamikou's segment, the 5-minute segment, on legal matters, legal, not advice, but legal guidance. And anybody that wants to liaise with Natasha for your own personal matter, please send us a message and we'll put you in touch with her. Otherwise, please send in questions to our Instagram or our email, thegreekpodyssey@gmail.com, or our website. Just send in your questions and stop it, Nick. And we will endeavour to get them answered by
And I would
Natasha.
like to say, please just send your questions on Instagram and...
People have choice. We give choice. We give choice.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get started. The deluge to Greece has started already. People arriving from all over the world. From what you looked up today, they're expecting an increase in tourism this year.
Another increase. Every year is...
But how do we sustain that, Nico?
I don't know if we can sustain that.
I don't think we
I don't
can.
know if, based on numbers, some areas are doing hard. Like they have no water, they have no...
The infrastructure.
to support such huge numbers. But I think that at the end of the day, you're in Greece.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Look, we do have to look at the ecological impact of over-tourism. I'll give you an example. The island of Paros. They're looking at building this massive resort, which requires water.
Is that Robert De Niro resort?
I don't know the
at
name of
Paris?
it.
No, it's Robert De Niro, the
Is it?
actor.
It
The
is
actor
opening a resort.
Is
Really?
that the one that he
I don't know.
brings in?
I read about it, but I can't recall the name. I was there in 2017 because my daughter was married, and it is now changed immensely so. More people, but you need the roads, you need the water. So at what point do we draw the line, and how do we manage this deluge of tourists? Greece is beautiful. Maybe, do you think one of the things that the government can do is a destination marketing campaign that highlights the lesser known parts of Greece so the tourism can be
Distributed
Distributed.
equally? Well, okay, I'm Greek.
You're a Greek.
Okay,
Tell us
you know that.
Yeah.
I'll start with that. There is no better place for holidays than Greece.
Yeah.
Okay, I know now.
you put that online.
I'll cop
You'll cop
a
that.
lot of haters about that, but I'll say that.
But that's what
and
you feel. You're entitled to it.
Yes, but why I'm saying it? Because it's a place that combines mountains. What do you want? You want mountains? You want a village? You want a big city? You want a club? You want the nightlife? You want a quiet?
You want snow skiing? Doesn't have to be
skiing
summer.
in summer.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be summer.
Yeah, but
Greece
we're
is
talking about summer holidays
Okay.
now, Christine.
All right, okay.
Don't get me
All right,
out
I
of the
just get
mood.
excited. All right.
If you want to have your summer holidays, you can find everything that you want. If you are a quiet person and you want to chill out and to meditate or whatever. Or if you're a fan of nightlife, you want to have clubs and loud music till early morning.
Nature walks,
Nature.
church pilgrimage. If it's people that want to do tour of churches, keep going.
If you want to discover the ancient history of
You'd
Greece,
have to live in Greece to do that. There's so much to discover.
yeah, but as a tourist,
There's
you
lots.
can see a lot of things, and that's why I'm saying there's no better place than Greece for holidays. And I'm waiting for you guys. Come
You're
on,
going to come.
bring it on.
Come on. We're going to have everyone from other countries and debating, but we're up for debate.
Yes,
We're up for debate. We want to hear your views. We want to know about your country as well, and then we'll put up the arguments as to why Greece is the best destination to holiday in. But talking about the ancient ruins, what do you think the impact is on those with thousands and thousands of people walking around them, walking on them? There's a cost to everything. So I'm looking at the financial cost of.
maintenance.
People think that Greece will have lots of tourists and make lots of money, but everything has a cost to it. So there's a cost in the management of roads that need maintenance, the ancient ruins that may be compromised, even the amount of Airbnbs, which takes property off the market for people, locals, looking for homes. And let's not forget the islands that do suffer over tourism. How does that impact the people that live in those? It doesn't necessarily
know.
translate to
I
more
know.
money for them.
I know people that working during the winter time and then they have to evacuate their apartment because it's a summer season. So they're like a teacher in a remote island or whatever. And they know that from May is not yours.
Yes,
We're going to make some money here.
exactly.
So they're kicking them out of the apartments and they take advantage of the tourist season.
Can I tell you my pet hate? I'm putting this on the record. I hate cruise ships, the cockroaches of the sea. I see these big monstrosities that continually sail in, they're eyesores. And aside from that, you have 10,000 that disembark. Okay, I'm being firm because I really feel strongly about this. 10,000 disembark. They bring their own food off the ships. They bring their provisions. They will take them 3-4 changes of clothing because everything's about your Instagram photo. They'll go to the vantage points. They will change outfits. So it gives the impression that they've spent a few days on this island. Meanwhile, you have people that have traveled to this island, booked accommodation, stay on the island, eat on the island, shop on the island. Their holiday is essentially destroyed or compromised because of these ugly cruise ships that come in and just swarm and take over, throw their mess, go back on board, sail off into the sunset. Then the next one comes in. I think if we want to battle over tourism, I know Prime Minister Mitsotakis last year was saying that he's going to put a limit, a cap, and it was going to come into effect this year. Has it? We need to look into that. Because the cruise ships, I think environmentally are bad, visually they're bad, and from a standard of, the locals still have to pay their fees to remove rubbish, their council fees. These people just dump their rubbish. Very few eat on the island because they don't have a lot of time. They just run to all the vantage points, congest them, take their photos, leave. And no wonder some people think, I'm not going to go to that island anymore because I just can't enjoy it. And these cruise ships, the island gives the perception of thousands of people on there, but those thousands of people aren't spending money on the island. They're just creating havoc and creating a cost.
I'll disagree with you, Christine, because cruise ships is a major income for the Greek tour.
In which way?
In which way? Because when you have 20,000 people coming off a boat,
Yeah.
like the big ones,
Yeah.
and they're going to buy a bottle of water, they're going to buy a souvenir, they're going to buy a Coca-Cola from or whatever, a soft drink, it's a major part of the income, I'm telling you. And also, they pay fees for the ships.
Yeah, but is that
go
fee,
at the
does that
ports.
fee go to the port of the island or does it go to the government?
To the government.
Okay.
The government maintains the port.
And the
Local
locals
business.
benefit. How do the locals benefit from that then? They don't.
Well, all the people that have the little shops at the port, when the cruise ship comes, they're making money. You might not like it because it disturbs your.
No, I disagree with you.
It disturbs your.
Nico, I disagree with you.
That's okay. Let me finish, and then
Okay.
you can
Disagree
tell
with
whatever
you.
you want.
Okay.
Okay, but let me finish. So when, because it disturbs your vision of how an island would be, but on a view of someone who has a shop that sells water or souvenirs or whatever from the island and he makes money, you can't take that away from him. He makes money from the ship.
You know that when I travel, one of the things I do is I stick my phone and camera in front of people and I interview them. And I speak to everybody. And I go to a lot of islands. The overwhelming consensus, they say, there's lots of people on the island, but they're not spending any money. And that's what I'm getting. And the people that they say are not spending money are the people that are coming off the cruise ships. The people that are spending the money are the ones that have paid for a hotel. Just disadvantages all round with the infrastructure. It makes it unpleasant.
Okay. Yeah, you have a point. I won't disagree
Look,
with you.
Spain's
But
got
there
the
are
same
two
problem.
sides in this story.
I'm looking at it from the perspective of the people that live there and,
I
and they
know.
need to get around.
And
What
they're
about the
making-
suburbs?
Yeah, but they're making money.
But what about in
making-
the suburbs,
What
not the port?
suburbs?
The villages.
Of course they're not making money because they're cruise. They're coming down for 2 hours. They're walking around on the main area and then they're going back. That's it. But you can't say that. I
Anyway,
don't
we'll agree to disagree.
Contribute.
Minimally,
I'll take numbers out and you'll
numbers
see
out.
that it's not minimally.
the numbers that come versus the numbers that they spend and the cost in facilitating those numbers, the cost in terms of rubbish removal, road repairs, taxis, buses, public transport, that cost far outweighs the amount of money that they spend when they get off for a couple of hours on the island. Well, if they've got 2 hours or 3 hours, are they going to sit and have lunch?
No,
Are they going to go shopping?
no, it's a quickie.
Their priority is to take photos.
It's
and
a
they'll
quickie.
they'll go to the vantage points with their own water from aboard, their own snacks from the ship. They'll go to the vantage
Yeah,
points.
they got their own island together. Come on, Christine. They're buying something they'll buy.
Yes,
They're not the big spenders that are going to spend the money as you're going to sit in a tavern or in a restaurant, or if you have a room in a hotel or whatever, your villa or whatever you want. But they're spending money.
My hope is that the government has capped them.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with the cap because I know islands that are suffering from a mass cruises invasion. I know that. And that's bad. I agree with you. You don't need that. You need something more regulated. Put a cap and say 2 per day.
I'll give you an example from your own beautiful island that I visited last year in
Which
Crete.
is Crete.
Crete.
Yeah, okay.
I went to Balos Beach. Beautiful. The water, just see how I've got blue and you've got blue on today? All these colours are in the water. You have to go by a speedboat.
Yeah.
And you see some of these ugly cruise ships. You have to disembark and walk through the water. And I was happy to do that because I thought the natural beauty of that place, the ecosystem, I think comes before my enjoyment. So I was happy, don on my little bikini, climb down and hold my provisions and
So
walk.
you had no choice. What do you mean you were happy?
No,
There's no choice.
let me tell you what
if
happened.
you want to go down.
Tourists complained, so now they have agreed to build a wharf where the ships can dock and people can come off, hordes of people again. And for me, I thought, what a shame.
You know what? I find the beauty that you have to go from the boat and walk
I loved it.
to, yeah, like
Loved
that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
But you've got these
But
sloppy
I'm
tourists.
pretty sure they will try to be respectful to the environment and all that as I have to.
What do you think of tourists that go to a foreign country, they come to Greece? Because recently, all over social media, there was a lady from the UK that went to Corfu and she complained because they had no English food. If you want to have a meat pie, bangers and mash. You don't come to Greece for that.
Bring
Greek
it
food.
with you.
And she really complained, and it went viral all over social media. Her photo everywhere. This crabby looking old lady, grumpy as, that complained that I didn't like it because they didn't supply
Didn't like it,
they didn't supply English food. Yeah, thank God.
but they had English beer.
Beers, yeah, they
That's
have
it.
beers.
She was happy.
So, what do you think of the average tourist in Greece?
I've seen that, okay, how much money the tourists will spend has to do with the prices.
Forget about the spend, their behavior, the way they respect.
It depends. So it's Corfu and Rhodes, these islands have a different attitude than the island of Paros or the island of Naxos or even Crete. So different islands are attracting different target group of tourists. But I've seen gross behaviors and I see some beautiful behaviors. So you can't have them all. Like, you have to deal with that. It's like your podcast, Christine. You have a podcast. You have some good behaviors. You have some bad behaviors.
Thankfully, so far, the good has outweighed the bad. But my worst tourist is the one that is loud, demanding, disrespectful. And it's weird because when I go to Greece, I'm a tourist. Okay, I'm a tourist as well because I live here in Australia. But I look at the other person and I respect that when I speak to them, it's going to be with courtesy. I'm not going to be demanding.
Because you're Greek, Christine.
I've
That's
got
why.
philotimo.
No, you're Greek. You understand.
No, but I'm like that if I visit other countries as well. I don't have to
Yeah.
be Greek.
Again, because you're Greek.
Oh, you
Like
think it's me being Greek that makes me
Yes.
respectful?
Yes, correct.
and nice,
correct.
yeah.
We know about hospitality in Greece. We know how hard it is to run a restaurant, how hard it is to run a business during the summertime. We know all that.
I was sitting in a
We're not
hotel
that demanding.
last year. I was on a rooftop in Athens having breakfast at the hotel I was staying at. And there was this American lady. I always chat, whoever. Where are you from? Particularly if you hear English spoken, you start a conversation. And this lady said to me, I'm only here for a couple of days. What do you suggest I do? I said, the Athens Museum is literally around the corner. I really recommend that you go and see the Athens. You know what she said to me? Oh, I don't know about that. Hey, we got lots of ancient ruins back home in the States, in our museums. I thought, did you understand?
That's funny. Yeah,
You
yeah.
are there in the cradle of civilization. You have got some of the world's richest ruins around the corner. And you say to me, oh, we got them back home in our museums and I don't need to go and see them.
I like your accent. It's
It's good, isn't
contagious. Funny stories. I know people that they're coming, for example, I'll talk about my places like Thessaloniki, Chalkidiki,
Love
Crete, and they're very respectful. They're very respectful. Of course, I
Thessaloniki is a
don't wanna
different
say-
area, though.
What do you mean?
I see Thessaloniki as probably the cultured city of Greece. It's the foodie capital. It attracts, like you said, a different type of tourist. You're not going to get too much of your riffraff or whatever. I love Thessaloniki. It's very stately. It's very elegant. It's got those elegant walks on the Levko Pyrgo.
You said it right. Oh, bravo.
So I can understand why in Thessaloniki you won't encounter that.
And Chalkidiki, which is
And
very close.
Chalkidiki, it's close, yeah.
That's 40-minute
Kavourotripes.
drive. Oh my God. Why you said that?
Guys, there's this beach
Vurvuru.
in Chalkidiki has 3 fingers,
3 legs.
3 legs. And each one is beautiful to discover if you're going to the Saloniki in that part of Greece. Kavourotripes, which leg is that on? The second leg. That has to be one of the most beautiful beaches I've been to, even though I had a bad experience. I was stung by something in the water. I leant against a rock and I'm sitting there trying to look glamorous. And then I felt something sting me and burn. I thought, holy hell, what the hell is that? Anyway, it was on my derriere. And the following day, I was
Bruised.
covered in this ugly rash. And I was staying with a girlfriend and I showed her the rash. She goes, I'm taking you to hospital straight away. I went to this beautiful hospital, Ayos Lukas, I think it is.
So you went from Halkidiki,
I was staying in.
Ayos Luca.
I was staying at Calamaria. Okay, we
Okay.
took a day trip there.
Okay. Now
So-
it makes sense.
I walk in and the doctor said, "Have a seat so I can examine you." I said, "Doctor, if I have a seat, you're not going to be able to examine me because that's where you need to examine me." And I ended up on an IV drip.
Really? What was it? Medusa?
Well, tell me what a medusa is. Is that an octopus? Because I go medusa.
Oh, Medusa is Medusa.
A medusa, but what sort of animal? Is it an octopus?
It's a jellyfish.
It's a jellyfish. Okay.
Oh my
Because
god.
when I can understand the analogy, octopus,
What
lots
do
of
you mean,
legs,
Are
medusa,
you
lots
thinking
of...
Medusa with the snakes and the...
Well, I'm talking about
no.
medusa in the water.
Medusa is a
It
jellyfish.
was very, very, very painful, and I had to ended up in hospital on a. So don't lean up against the rocks.
Australia has the most deadly animals in the world.
We do.
You know what we got in Greece?
What?
Deadly? The most deadly cookie in the world. Kurabies.
Oh, you can choke.
You
You can choke. There's an art to eating a kurabier. You can. There's an art to it. If you're a foreigner and you've eaten kurabier for the first time, you're going to fail.
Yeah. Just don't breathe in.
Don't breathe it in while you're
you bite it. What's the English name?
Call it an almond sugar cookie, almond sugar biscuit. What's one of the best things that you love when you travel through various parts of Greece?
First of all, I love to travel by boat.
Yeah.
So we used to
Are you
have
showing off now?
my boat,
Yeah,
the boat
okay.
of the line. We had direct line from Thessaloniki to Hania. That was about, if I'm not mistaken, 12 or 16 hours
Wow.
in the boat. That was the best part.
Aren't they beautiful though? I love those boats.
I know. We have the cabin. Everyone has his bed. We had a Pac-Man, whatever, all these games.
Buffet, food, everything.
Yeah.
I absolutely love
I
it.
love it. You had a big screen, and it was beautiful. I love the smell of the boat. It
That
gives
feeling,
me,
that anticipation where you're just embarking on the boat. You leave your
you know
suitcase.
what? I can't sleep when we're reaching the port. I'm awake always
Excited.
because usually it arrives around 5 o'clock in the morning, 5.
Oh, and you're seeing the
5:30,
sunrise.
and the sunrise, then the calm waters, the smells
Oh, God.
coming, oregano.
Oh, yeah, the thyme from the mountains.
The thyme, oregano,
Beautiful.
all the herbs.
That's one of the beautiful things about
If my son was here, I'd say glorious.
glorious.
It's glorious. It's glorious.
I love to travel. You know what I have? I avoid the plane trips to go to the islands. You know why? Because by the time I get a cab and I go to the airport and you pray that your flight hasn't been cancelled or delayed or whatever, and you've got to have the limit of your suitcase as well. And there's all that hassle where you can just get a taxi to wherever you're going, Piraeus or Yithio or Rafina. You embark, you sit out on the deck, you don't have to worry about excess luggage. You can walk around, you can meet people and chat, and before you know it, you're sailing into that harbour. And I know I said before about ships. I'm not talking about cruise ships. I'm talking about the local
Come
ferry.
on, you liar.
The local
You're
ferry line.
bipolar. Okay, let's give a tip to our listeners and friends. Guys, when you book an airplane ticket during summertime on a peak season, which is from, let's
June?
say, June
September.
to the end of September, always choose the first flights. They will never be delayed. The reason that they are delayed is because it's so packed, everything, and always something is happening. So, first flights, first 2, 3, 4 flights, and you will be fine.
Having said that, last year they had a report on the best airport in Europe that functioned seamlessly, and it was Athens Airport.
Yes, the airport is fine.
It was brilliant.
What they're struggling to accommodate all these people flying because someone's forget his tickets.
There's problems.
Yeah,
Yes, it's people, human errors from passengers that
Correct.
leave their baggage.
But
leave this,
you can trust the Greek pilots. The Greek pilots are the best pilots.
they've always,
I think they're ranked in the top 3.
are they still Greek pilots though, or do they bring in foreign pilots?
Of course there are.
The Greek pilots?
I have a friend of mine from Tasmania moved to Greece and he works as a pilot for Aegean.
Yeah, no, it's great. In the old days of Olympic Airways, weren't they the best days?
Oh, man. I remember that.
The best days were it was party from the time you stepped on board, and the hostesses, and there was the music, and it was just the holiday began on the flight. And I so miss Olympic
I
Airways.
still feel like that when I'm landing to Eleftherios
Yeah, I do.
Venizelos. I remember the old days of Olympic Airways where you could have your cigarettes on board and smoke.
Don't tell me, that
no,
was the
I'll
drawback.
tell you. I'll tell you.
You're a smoker, I'm not.
No, I'll tell you. I hate it because I was a kid.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't like it.
Yeah.
But what they say, from 1 to 30 is a smoking area.
And then from
From
31.
30 to 60 is no smoking, but the whole aircraft was full of smoke.
The cabin crew at the back puffing away.
That was the Onassis good old days when Olympic Airways was like a big deal.
And I always feel safe flying on Olympic Airways because I knew we had the good pilots on Olympic Airways. So when you go to Greece, what do you think of Athens in the summer?
I love it. I love Athens. I love Thessaloniki.
No, because some people, they use Athens as a pit stop from island to island. So they come back to Athens, they stay a night, but Athens is so vibrant.
Let me tell you something. Athens is 12 months destination.
It is.
It's always packed.
Yeah, I love it.
It's always packed.
In my heart. And if I can sit and look at wherever I am, the view of the Acropolis, that's all I want.
Yeah. Yeah. You feel
You feel the mystery of
Oh
the
my
gods. You feel the energy. You feel the mystique of it all. And I look at it, I think, I let my mind transport myself to thousands of years ago. Who was walking here? And I feel that when I go to Erodio to watch a concert and I take my seat on the stone stairs, and I think, who was sitting right here? Could it have been Homer? Could it have been Aristophanes? Which person was sitting where I am thousands of years ago? And it blows my mind.
I agree with you.
And the reason I'm staying till September is because that's when concerts start again. That is always the culmination for me. I've had a beautiful holiday, and then I see a couple of concerts at Erodio, and it just blows me away. And if you're lucky enough to have a full moon, so you've got your full moon up ahead, casting this beautiful silvery moonlight, and the lights of the imposing wall of the Erodio.
What a combination.
You've got Xarchakos doing his concert and playing the music that I just live for. And I think, wow, what am I living right now?
You're very lucky. You're very lucky.
It's a blessing to be able to
It
live
is.
that.
It is. I think it's time to bring in Natasha.
Yes, it is.
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yep.
Always time for Natasha. She's always very popular. So Natasha's going to give her 5-minute segment, and then we'll be back.
Let's go.
Coming up next, the legal segment with Natasha Karamijo. The content of this segment is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Always consult a qualified legal professional for advice specific to your situation. The views expressed are those of the speakers and do not represent formal legal counsel. To connect you with Natasha Karamijo, please contact us.
Hello, I'm Natasha Karamijo, and in this podcast, I will continue exploring inheritance rules under the Greek law. As we have already explained, the inheritance can arise either through a will or in the state, without a will. Let's start analyzing the inheritance through a will. How is it defined? The succession by will gives an estate of the right to determine the person he or she wishes to inherit him or her, but at the same time obliges the testator to assign a part of the inherited property to certain relatives, such as the children or the spouse in life, who, even if they are not included in the will as heirs, are entitled to receive a percentage of the inheritance through the reserved share rule. The Civil Code provides for 3 types of wills: the private will, the public will, and the secret will. The private will is written in full by the testator's hand, dated and signed by him or her. A public will is drawn up by a declaration of the testator's last will and testament before a notary public with witnesses present. For the drawing up of the secret will, the testator shall, in the presence of witnesses, hand over to the notary public a document stating orally that this document contains his or her last will and testament. A renunciation of will action is also predicted and has to be made within 4 months since the declaration of the will by the court in this case. If no renunciation action has taken place within 4 months from the court declaration of the will, then the heirs are deemed to have made an implicit acceptance of the inheritance made to them through the will. In the case of will, the declaration of acceptance of the inheritance, which is prepared by the notary public together with the preparation of the declaration for the payment of inheritance tax, must also follow. What specific actions need to be taken? Declaration of death of the deceased to the fiscal authorities. Deposit of the will at the court where the deceased residence belongs, or where the residence of the person who possesses the will belongs. This is a lengthy procedure that can reach almost 300 days, namely a year, before a will is declared by the court. If the residence of the deceased is abroad, the declaration of the will take place at the consulate. If the heirs also wish to renounce the inheritance, they must notify the court accordingly. After the publication of the will from court, the preparation and payment of the inheritance tax is required at the fiscal authorities. After the signing of the acceptance contract, the heirs have to submit an epsilon tax document in which the inherited property will be listed. The inherited property needs to be lodged in κτηματολόγιο or in ηθικοφυλακείο if the real estate property is concerned. What we need to keep in mind is that the law regarding the declaration of will is about to change, probably from the beginning of September 2025, and wills are going digital, since the registry for unpublished wills is coming. The registry will be managed by the Notaries Association, and all wills, handwritten, secret, and public, will be published without revealing their content, respecting all the necessary guarantees of secrecy. Private wills will be deposited at a notary by the testator himself and not through a third party. The notary will enter and post the will on an online platform, and on the date of death of the testator, the platform will provide the appropriate code to open the file and allow the notary to publish the will. These changes intend to simplify the process and increase security in terms of drafting, filing, and publishing wills, as well as introducing a new institution that will facilitate the administration of the estate for as long as the testator is still alive. However, we should not forget the legal actions that can be taken during life, such as parental provision under Article 1509 of the Civil Code, and the establishment of a gift, donation, during life to any third party for any real estate or an undivided share thereof, located within the Greek territory in full ownership, part ownership, or in usufruct. A parental provision is a contract between a parent and the child, whereby the parent gives his or her property to the child free of charge in order to support the child's family, financial or professional life, while the child is still alive. What we need to have in mind is that there are legitimate options for the transfer of inheritance. The appropriate legal assistance will guide us to choose the one that suits us most.
First international location marks the debut of Roasting Warehouse outside Australia, a major global expansion milestone.
Prime location in Neos Cosmos, nestled in the cultural heart of Athens, easily accessible and surrounded by vibrant local life. A fusion of Roasting Warehouse's signature Melbourne-style cafe experience with the local Athenian vibe.
Partnered with Nikos Antsaras, two-time Hellenic barista champion, bringing world-class expertise and credibility.
Specialty coffee, locally roasted. High-quality beans roasted with precision and passion, offering a rotating menu of single origins and blends.
Curated food menu, Australian-inspired brunch, fresh pastries, and seasonal dishes tailored for the Greek palate.
Designed for experience. A stylish, modern cafe space built for connection, creativity, and quality coffee moments.
Hosting events, barista trainings, and tastings to engage local coffee lovers and professionals. Dream big, and life is better with great coffee.
Thank you, Natasha. That was, as
Very
always, informative.
Let's get back to summer in Greece.
Summer in Greece, summer holiday.
2025.
Do you know my favorite movie I love to watch when I'm flying to Greece, without fail, is Mamma Mia.
Of course.
It just puts me in that
You're a
vibe.
girl.
Huh?
You're
I just
a girl.
love it.
That's why.
Well, I'm an old ABBA diehard from back then. But then watching the music and the scenery, and can you see how I move my hands? I'm really Greek, aren't I?
Yeah, yeah,
Huh?
you're ready to sing Mamma
what
Mia.
would happen if you tied my hands and I tried to speak? I
Oh,
need to
you
use my
can't.
hands.
You can't. You're
So
Greek.
I look at when I step onto the plane, how am I going to get myself in the mood? And I have to watch Mamma Mia. And I started watching Greek movies. They've got a Greek channel,
Yes.
foreign films.
Yes.
And I saw a couple of doozies on the last flight that I was on. I saw one about the history of the bouzouki.
So it's not, yes. Okay, it's not a movie.
It was a documentary.
It's a documentary. Yes.
And then I saw
You sent that to me when you
I
were
sent it to you because I was so
on
impressed
your
by it.
flight.
Anything?
But I think this is only on first class.
Oh, you've read. Guys, I have never traveled first class.
She did.
And the other one was a brilliant movie about a girl that had cerebral palsy, and her brother didn't want the burden of her when the mother died, and he was trying to put her in an institution because his girlfriend said she's a burden, blah, blah, blah. But he slowly started to develop a bond with it and started to see these beautiful qualities come through, and he became very attached to her. It turns out that this girl was a genius and developed a cure for male pattern baldness.
Is that a Greek movie?
Yes,
Okay,
a Greek movie.
beautiful.
And she won a grant, or she won a prize, 10 million euros. So then the brother kicked out the girlfriend,
I took her sister.
and
His sister.
he just embraced his sister. It was so heartwarming. It was so well made. I loved it.
I don't need movies when I'm going to Greece. I'm
Do you sleep?
already,
Because I'm not a good sleeper on the plane. I can't sleep. So,
I can't sleep. I've got Vasiliki and Saba next to me.
yeah.
I can't. I'm like vampire, red eyes, and but
Just-
don't mind. I'm
I
very
just have
excited.
Itching.
I'm very excited and
Till we-
waiting for my time to land at the airport and to have my Freddo espresso, the first thing, and my cigarette. That's
your dream.
that's not my dream. That's my ritual.
Oh,
When I
right.
go down, that's my first thing. Okay, guys, let's go for a Bugatti, Tirobita, and Freddo espresso, and let's have a
For
cigarette.
me, as
on
soon
the
as I'm
side.
up in the air at the right altitude and they turn on the Wi-Fi,
Yeah,
that's it. I read, I speak, I chat,
you scroll.
I scroll.
Yeah, that's she's scrolling too much. I know. As we said, let's get back to holidays and how
I
the
didn't tell
tourism.
you one of the
Yeah.
things because I asked you what you like. I love trying different foods from different regions. I'm a foodie. And the kilos I come back with reflect that.
Well,
But for me, one of the simple pleasures of life is good food.
there is a big connection when you go and visit a place to try the food, to listen to their music, and to meet the people. That's what you have
That's
to
what
do.
it's about, isn't it?
And I know because we have some Airbnb style in my village in Crete,
Yeah.
and they're very popular because of people coming there and they blend with the locals. They're going to meet how's the agriculture because we have some great organic farms there
It's the best.
and people they love that. They
Yeah.
love that, and that's the reason why they're coming. And actually, they advertise it like that. Look, come and blend with the locals.
Yeah.
Come to see how's the life here at the village. Every Sunday, the church.
Yeah.
It's
The church bells on the Sunday morning. I love it.
yeah. When I was a kid, I had it
You hated it?
because my mom pushed me to go to church,
Oh, okay.
and I was awake like till 2, 3 o'clock. And my mom, with my friends in the age of 12, 13, we didn't mind. We didn't care. We were there at the outside of the house and we were playing cards
course.
or listening to music or whatever. And then 8:30,
Church time.
church time. My mom.
Yeah.
Why?
This is why you're a nice spiritual person now because you had all that.
I don't go to church now.
You don't go to church
No,
now.
I,
You're
I don't
scarred.
have the time to go to church.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should.
I do like to go to church in Greece. It has a different spiritual feeling. Without fail, if I ever go, when I go to Mytilene, I go to Aio Raphael and I go to Taxiarch.
I visit churches. I don't go to the liturgy.
Oh, do you?
I don't go to the
local-
liturgy.
You don't go to your
yeah,
local.
yeah. Sometimes I'm going if I'm okay. Now that I'm older, I don't mind because I'm awake.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you're growing older, you can't sleep that much. Yeah,
Summer in Greece coming
let's
up.
hope that it will be a
Anyone's
fruitful.
going from around the world, whoever We'd love to know where you're going. Drop us a line on this when we do this podcast and the little promo. Love to know where you're going for your holiday trip.
Would love to
Greece?
hear from
And your
you guys
experiences.
from America, from Canada, from wherever you are, and you're going to Greece. Just send us your experience, good or bad. We can discuss. It
We
would be
can chat.
lovely to have
Yeah, we want to hear the bad. 'Cause
your
look,
input.
there's always going to be bad.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. We're not
Life
saying...
is about balancing the good with the bad.
Yes, but when we say that Greece is the best place
It has
for
a lot to offer. It
holidays,
has a lot to offer.
is because of the land, of the waters,
The variety.
and all that. And of course, there are bad things
And there's a
happening.
lot of blue flag beaches in Greece. Where
You don't need a blue flag.
But
You
it's a
don't need a
plus.
blue flag
yeah, the waters are
in
beautiful.
weather Greece. Yeah. And another tip for you guys: when you explore the islands, just hire a small boat with your captain there and go around all the island and visit the small
Little inlets.
golfers.
As long
and
as you're
the-
with a captain.
Yes.
And please, whatever you do, if you're not an experienced hiker, do not go hiking at 38 degrees in rough terrain. How many tourists are found dead in that?
Yeah.
Just do not do it. Greece has certain times where you are exposed to the elements. Middle of the day is not one of them. There's a reason why they have a siesta in the middle of the day.
3 to 5.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
stay. always
Stay
have-
safe.
Stay safe. Enjoy your holidays.
Show your love to the locals, and they will return it
Exactly.
back to you 100%.
The locals will embrace you. Be nice to them. It's just one big warm hug.
We'll see you to the next one.
See you at the next one.
See you in
Thank
the next one. Looking forward.
Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast brought to you by Roasting Warehouse.
From Melbourne
To Brisbane,
and now in Athens,
Roasting Warehouse, shaping the global coffee culture.
dream big.
And life is better with great coffee. Roasting Warehouse.
I'm Christine Stavropoulos,
Κι εγώ ο Νίκος Σαμίδης. Και αυτό είναι το Greek Podyssey, το podcast της ομογένειας.
a podcast for Hellenes worldwide, sharing stories, culture, identity, laughs, and a little bit of tsugrisma along the way.
Γιατί μπορεί να φύγαμε από την Ελλάδα, αλλά η Ελλάδα δεν έφυγε ποτέ από μας.